Can we get a roll call, please?
Jeff Zweig,
Here.
Christopher Mellon, absent. Pete Gipp here. William Byers.
Here.
Tim Fortier,
Here.
four members present.
And we have minutes from our last meeting.
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes from the last meeting.
I second the motion.
We have a first and a second to accept the minutes. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Minutes are approved. Do we have any communications?
Not at this time, Mr. President.
Thank you. All right, then. I will call the case by case number and name of petitioner. I would ask that you come forward, state your name and address for public record, at which time you will be given an opportunity to present your case, accompanied by any professionals that you may have with you. After that, we will have a staff report pertaining to each case presented this evening. We will then have a question and answer period for the board members. We will then open the floor for comments, not questions, from the audience. If you are desirous of speaking for or against any case, we ask that you please sign in at the registry in the center aisle. Public comments will be limited to 3 minutes. The board will then render a decision either for or against, ask for a deferral for more information or other reasons which we will state, or the board will make no recommendation to the town council. Would you please silence any communication devices at this time? Thank you. We are going to switch things up a little bit tonight, and we are going to hear case number 3 first, which is Z4U1-0225, Toomey for Health LLC petitioner and owner.
Thank you. I'm Alex Kutanowski, attorney for Toomey for Health. Jim Kyleman with PBS, architect on the project. I appreciate the board moving us up today. My clients had an unexpected event that took them out of town today. They aren't able to be here. We would like to request the deferral until next meeting. I did notice that we had a couple individuals sign in. I'd be happy to take them out in the hallway and answer some questions. Since we're here tonight and Jim and I do have some information, we can maybe at least get some information out to individuals that did come out here tonight.
Okay, thank you. Is there anyone here that was going to speak for or against this petition this evening? Would you be happy to speak with them in the hallway, or would you like it on public record?
I've driven up from Indianapolis, so I'd just like, for the board's sake, put it on public record.
So you would have to step to the microphones.
Yeah, happy to.
Is that okay that he does it that way?
May I approach briefly just to give you
So,
some reference?
oh,
material?
sure, but you need to speak into the microphone so it can be on record.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Good evening. Thank you to the board. My name is Andy Clayton. I'm the Executive Director of the Indiana Funeral Directors Association, and I'm also a former chairman of the State Board of Funeral and Cemetery Service. And I'm here neither for nor against. I just want to make sure there's a clear understanding. If a variance is granted for a crematory, that our state does register crematories through the State Board of Funeral and Cemetery Service, and that if the crematory intends to offer their services directly to the public, they must be a licensed funeral home to do so. That's all.
Thank you. For
Simple
bringing
enough.
Information to us.
Thank
We will
you.
carry that on in further meetings.
Very good. Thank you so
That you don't
much.
need to be here for. Thank you. Is there anyone else who would like to speak for or against this petitioner? Seeing none, can we get a motion for a deferral?
A motion for a deferral.
I'll second.
A first and a second for deferral. A roll call vote, please.
Jeff Zweig,
Aye.
Christopher Mellon, absent. Pete Gipp, yes. William Byers.
Yes.
Tim Fortier,
Yes.
4-0.
All right, let's start at the beginning again. Case number Z2E 2-0225, DVG Team Greg Lorg, on behalf of Drive and Shine petitioner and OC real estate owner located at 740 East 81st Avenue. Special exemption approval from section 21-136 in a C3 highway commercial zoning district on 1.75 acres to allow a car wash.
Good evening, Board. Again, my name is Greg Lorig, DVG Team, 1155 Troutwine Road, Crown Point, Indiana. DVG is the applicant for this petition for a special exception and representing the developer Drive and Shine, Inc. Also here with me tonight is Jeff Band from DVG Team and also Frank Katemi from Drive and Shine. We also have Haji Tehrani, the president and CEO, kind of on standby. He unfortunately couldn't make it tonight, but I know there wasn't a virtual option, so we have him on standby on the phone if needed as well. So we are requesting a special exception approval for a new car wash to be installed in C3 zoning located at 740 East 81st Avenue. There should be a project location exhibit in your packet from our submittal. This about 1.74 acre site is the home of the former Old Chicago restaurant that I'm sure you're probably all familiar with. So this is at the northwest corner of Rhode Island and Delaware Place. The restaurant's been, closed for nearly 2 years, and the owner and sellers of the property have been discussing a sale to Drive and Shine for a while now. So at this time, I appreciate Jeff actually already passed out some photos to you guys. So I think the second and third page is just some photos of the existing site. Again, you guys are probably familiar with it, but just for frame of reference, wanted to give that to you. So Drive and Shine, if approved, would intend to purchase the property, demolish the building and monument sign, and completely redevelop the site. Preliminary site plan was provided with the submittal packet. The project would include a car wash, approximately 18 indoor vacuum spaces for members, 7 to 8 outdoor vacuum spaces, approximately 14 regular parking spaces for employees and customers, as well as a 3-bay lube center oil change in the rear of the site. This project would be a total estimated investment of approximately $15 million in the town of Maryville. Again, I imagine some of you are probably familiar with Drive and Shine car washes, as there's several located throughout Northwest Indiana, including Cherville, Crown Point, and Valpo. There are also forthcoming locations in Portage and Michigan City. I would like to stress that Drive and Shine is the premier car wash in the state of Indiana. They use industry-leading materials and equipment at all locations. This includes water recycling systems, oil water separators, and snow melt pavement system at wash entrances and exits to reduce ice. Drive and Shine also utilizes environmentally friendly biodegradable soaps compared to their competitors. As Jeff has kindly set up here, we have a few large format photos, which are, I believe, the same ones that are probably also in your packet already. This, if you haven't seen one or driven by one, just gives you an idea for the, the high quality of what this product looks like, both at the building and the site. So as you can see, the facade kind of includes a combination of brick and tinted glass. For this particular project, the indoor car wash, which is unique to Drive and Shine, none of their other competitors are doing this, would have the glass facade along the indoor car wash on the west side. The rest would be kind of a combination of brick and glass, but the primary glass would be on the west and the south a little bit. In addition to that, some other unique things they do is Drive and Shine really prides themselves on landscaping. They like to go above and beyond, what minimum ordinance requirements are, so that's something Haji, the owner, really takes pride in. Another thing that's pretty unique is you don't see many car washes that actually put in concrete pavement around their whole site, but they build it to last, so everything is high quality from the building to all around the site. As mentioned, the existing site restaurant is vacant and slowly falling into disrepair. We feel like this project would provide a welcome facelift to the property and provide a set of unique auto maintenance services. As I mentioned, they're the only folks that provide an indoor vacuum service, which in Northwest Indiana wintertime is pretty awesome to have. So that's something that is like the number one request from customers that they want to see at these facilities, and they love to have them. And Frank can certainly speak to that. We feel that this development of this property will be used in a manner consistent with surrounding areas on Route 30. Some specific facts to this site. Estimated annual real property tax would be just under $150,000 per year. We're estimating somewhere in the range of 200 to 600 cars per day at this car wash and 30 cars per day at the lube center. During peak times, the car wash can process about 1 car per minute. So if they do get busy, they can move cars through quickly. They would be looking at 5 to 7 employees at this site, on a given shift. Hours of operation are 7:30 a.m. to 8 p.m. Monday to Saturday, and 8:30 a.m. to 7 p.m. Sunday. Another unique thing that Drive and Shine does is they offer fleet services for municipal vehicles and other entities. I've actually had some inquiries from the town of Maryville about fleet services. I forwarded this on to Drive and Shine for them to look at, but just for example, Crown Point, like all their municipal vehicles, do get like a 50% discount for all their services, whether that's police or fire or what have you. So that's something that they try to do to give back to the community. Specific to the findings of fact presented in our submittal, as I mentioned, Drive and Shine provides a lot of advanced technologies that ensure proper waste disposal, minimize environmental impact, and safeguard public health. Site wayfinding and traffic signs are placed to prioritize safety for both vehicles and pedestrians. Therefore, the project will not be detrimental or endanger public health, safety, morals, comfort, or general welfare. Similarly, the proposed use will not be injurious to the use and enjoyment of other property in the immediate vicinity, impair property values, or impede the normal and orderly development and improvement of the surrounding property for uses permitted in the district. As discussed, Drive and Shine is a unique car wash. It is a high-end, attractive, premium car wash and facility. It will only increase the property values in the surrounding vicinity and provide a useful service for adjacent existing property owners and customers from either existing businesses or future businesses. As far as the site goes, there's adequate utilities, roadways, and drainage available on and adjacent to the site. Furthermore, adequate measures would be taken to provide ingress and egress to minimize traffic congestion on the public streets. As shown on the site plan, the existing drives on 81st and Delaware would continue to be utilized. We would be looking at adding 1 additional right-out exit only on 81st Avenue and 1 additional driveway on Delaware Street for the Loop Center. These driveways are proposed to provide optimal and safe traffic flow within the site and safe conditions on the surrounding roadways. Designated lanes and well-marked signage on the site will promote safety and traffic efficiency. As far as this specific site and property goes, Drive and Shine has done significant market research within the town of Maryville. And as a matter of practice and to justify a $15 million investment, Drive and Shine needs to have a highly visible and accessible site. They looked at numerous sites throughout the town, and this is the only site that fits their market research specific for this build with the car wash, indoor vacuum, and lube center. With that being said, I'm going to hand it over to Jeff to discuss kind of the bigger picture of this site and the surrounding area of northwest corner of 65 and Route 30.
Thank you, Greg. Again, my name is Jeff Bann. I'm a principal and one of the owners of DVG Team. Also, am a lifelong resident of Maryville. Grew up and went to Maryville High School. This site at the northwest corner of 30 and 65 had a history and a legacy of providing community service for a lot of Northwest Indiana, Lake County, and a lot of outside travelers. I know that this site has been studied a lot by the town since the closure of the Radisson Hotel, the Star Plaza, and the Twin Towers. We've recognized that, and we've tried to create a project site development on the old Chicago site that is respectful to what might happen in the future. We've had a lot of discussions with officials of the town and department heads of the town about concerns about what is going to happen on the old Radisson and Twin Towers site. And I can't tell you that, and I don't know that anybody on your side of the table can tell you that at this point in time. But that shouldn't stop development of adjacent properties. Everything that is east of Delaware Street is the Whiteco site, as we all kind of reference that. Everything west of Delaware is owned by multiple property owners. It's owned by the three-story office building. It's owned by the Radisson Hotel, or not Radisson, excuse me, Residence Inn hotel owners. It's owned by the old Chicago current site owner. It's owned by the people who own the former Dairy Queen and the former Clark Station and the former Denny's, all individual owners. And to stifle any development on any of those properties, because we're not sure what's happening on the Radisson site quite yet, I think is a little bit unfair to all the property owners. And so what we've tried to do is gather the data, gather the goals and strategies from development in this corridor along US 30 on behalf of the town and also on behalf of this petitioner, and try to come up with a very high quality project. This is a car wash. This is a different type of use than was there for the last 30, 40 years before the Radisson site was demolished. But I think car washes in general, including drive and shine facilities, integrate very well into adjacent commercial trade areas, and they add to the economic activity of the area. And you can see this in a lot of drive and shine locations, especially in Northwest Indiana. Drive and shine recently opened, not owned, they do own, but they opened a new facility in front of Meijer. And I would think, and I would say to you that Drive and Shine's business has been driven a lot by Meijer's in Valparaiso's traffic, but also has generated additional traffic that has generated more traffic for the Meijer station, or Meijer store. On the north side of Valparaiso, on the old Urschel redevelopment site, they also created a very similar type of project up on Vale Park and Calumet Avenue. And all of the commercial corridor down Calumet Avenue in the north part of Valparaiso has benefited because of Drive and Shine has been benefited because of the commercial activity that goes there. Similar in the Cherville location that they are located at, down the 41 corridor. They've integrated, the adjacent businesses have benefited because of Drive and Shine and vice versa. So anything that will happen at the Radisson site will benefit because of Drive and Shine, and certainly Drive and Shine will benefit with whatever redevelopment goes on. So we are arguing that this is an economic benefit to the corridor, to the adjacent businesses, and it's not a detriment to that. Delaware Street, as I indicated, serves as a great dividing line and boundary line for what's existing there. And, you know, if Old Chicago got redeveloped as a restaurant, we wouldn't be before you. But because this is not a restaurant, it's a car wash in this zoning, we're before you for an approval for special use. The Delaware Street, again, divides very well existing businesses and redevelopment of some former businesses from the larger site as a whole of the Radisson. So what we've tried to do is try to position the building and configured the best parts of the building. And you can see down at the bottom are the two-story indoor car wash with a lot of glass and a lot of brick, a lot of masonry. That's what you will see from US 30. You won't see the Loop Center like across the street. You see the Take 5 Loop Center. You're not seeing that. The Loop Center on our site plan has been very calculated to put it in the rear of this site, so that we've been respectful to the quality of when you get off of 65 and you come into the town of Maryville and you come on 30, you're seeing a $15 million project. I argue to you to tell me anywhere else in Northwest Indiana or even in the state of Indiana that spent $15 million on a car wash complex. It just doesn't happen. Like Greg indicated, this is a premier luxury brand that people that want that treatment and that service will pay to get that service. So with that being said, we're going to close with Frank talking a little bit about operational culture of Drive and Shine, and then Greg will be here to answer any questions from the public and yourselves. So thank you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Frank Otami. I moved here in 2000, and 2001. And the reason we moved here is because my wife, Colleen, she's from this area, and she wanted to move back to the area and live, with her parents and in her community. So that's what we did. And at the same time, we had a vision to open businesses in this area that is not the same. We wanted to change the car wash industry, which we have. It took us 20 years, a lot of studying, a lot of work, and a lot of traveling. And actually, we go to Germany, we go to Holland. So we're different. We're both engineers, me and Haji, and our vision was to take something that when you said car wash 20 years ago, everybody looked at these buildings that they were dirty, they were just a bunch of blocks. We wanted to change that vision, which we have, which at the same time, it doesn't end here. We're just going to keep going and making it better and better and better. So I've raised my kids here. My wife, she lived in this area with her parents. We gave a lot to the community. We have, our first location was in Sherrville. And then our vision was to actually expand in this area. Took us a little longer than we wanted to, but we finally, are getting there. The reason that you might say, okay, so you just bought the Happy Car Wash down the road, and there's a cruise right there, and now you want to put another one, well, the reason behind that is when we do our studies, you want to make it so convenient for your customers. When you live in Crown Point and you work in Sherrville, or you work in Valparaiso, or vice versa, or when you go shopping, you do not want to just turn around and go back to Drive and Shine at one place to get your car wash. You want to be able to get your car wash at Drive and Shine anywhere you want to. So it's the convenience that actually is very, very important to us for our customers, especially when you join the VIP. So that is one reason. The other reason, if you really look at it, is on US 30, you got about 35,000 cars, maybe more, go every day. If you captured 1% of that, just 1%, that's actually 300, I would say 300 to 400 cars. That's only 1,200 cars a day, if you watch that. But that's so underserved, it's still so underserved. If you go to Indianapolis, or you go to some, actually larger cities, in Chicago, they have probably car washes every 4 miles, on the same road. There are 5 of them, and they're all actually are washing cars. So I don't want you to be concerned that there's too many car washes on US 30. It's not. It's actually underserved. We take care of, so those are the factors that we really wanted to go in there, and we worked hard, and as you can see in the buildings, they're going to be actually, this is $15 million, beautiful building. So I am hoping that you really think about this hard, what we're going to do for the city, and what is this project is going to bring to the land that has been sitting there for the past 6-7 years empty. And this is going to start the spark. This is going to spark that people see that, and they do want to come and do something in that area. I promise you that, because we've seen it over and over and over. When a shopping center sits empty, nobody wants to be in it. But once you get one tenant in there, then you will see it, actually fill up. So this will help the city. So I'm hoping that you will see it in your heart to actually accept this. I appreciate it. Any questions?
Yeah, thanks, Frank. At this time, we're happy to try to answer any questions board may have.
Can we get a staff report, please?
Petitioner is seeking special exception approval from Section 21-136 in a C3 Highway Commercial Zoning District to allow a car wash and lube center at 740 East 81st Avenue. Petitioner is seeking to turn the former Old Chicago restaurant into a proposed car wash with indoor and outdoor vacuums and a lube center. Petitioner states that granting the special exception approval would not be detrimental or endanger public health, safety, and morals, comfort, or general welfare. The proposed special exception will not be injurious to the use and enjoyment of other properties in the immediate vicinity for the purpose already permitted, nor substantially diminish or impair property values within the neighborhood, because Drive and Shine is a modern car wash facility that incorporates advanced technologies and ensures minimal disruption to neighboring properties. Additional Drive and Shine adheres to the stringent environmental regulations and professional management practices to prevent nuisance while continuously maintaining a well-kept operation. Furthermore, the desired site is a vacant restaurant. Therefore, developing a site into a high-end car wash will not only increase property value in the surrounding area, but the establishment of a special exception will not impede the normal or orderly development and improvements of the surrounding properties for the uses already permitted in the district. Adequate utilities, access road, drainage, and other facilities already exist. Drive and Shine will provide an advanced infrastructure, including water cycling system and efficient draining solutions. Adequate measures will be taken to provide ingress and egress and minimize traffic congestions on the street to include designating lanes as well as marked parkways and signs throughout the site. This request for special exception approval is a must because without it, the requested business cannot exist. The hours of operation will be 7:30 a.m. to 8 p.m. Monday through Saturday, and Sunday 8:30 a.m. to 7 p.m. There will be approximately 5 to 7 employees, and this is for this petitioner only, at this location only, and for this use only.
Thank you. I will bring it to the board for questions.
Excuse me, don't mean to interrupt, and then certainly kind of out of place here, but do we need to do public hearing before you guys, or can that be after?
I'm sorry?
I believe there's a public hearing for this,
There's a
right,
public
Sheila?
hearing, but he's gonna ask questions for the board,
First.
and then after he asks the questions for the board, he will ask if there's anyone here to speak
Okay.
against or for the petition.
Just wanted to make sure. I had Jeff whispering in my ear.
Oh, okay. You forgot about last time, Greg, how we did it.
Because of the size of the parcel, I guess you're tied into the city sewer. Is that true, Sheila? There's no retention pond that's required for the property?
So there is retention back in the back area. However, if they get through the process and they're approved, they will work with the development team as far as the retention and everything that is needed during the civil, when they submit their civil drawings.
Okay, so that's shown on the property map here?
I know it's some back there because we discussed it on the team's meeting for another project.
Yeah, so there's like a regional pond northwest of this site that multiple properties funnel into, but again, if we get into the full engineering, we'll do our due diligence on that, to make sure it doesn't need to be expanded or modified or anything.
Okay, we were, I think, 2 months ago, we looked at this for a different site, the Happy Day Car Wash. You're gonna remodel that, put that in. What's to say you're gonna come back in another month and find another property and go somewhere else?
Frank, are you looking at any
Is this
other
it, or-
Maryville sites, or is this the last
Go
one in
through it
Maryville?
again.
Excuse me. Well, it's gotta make sense. You know, we're not just gonna put car wash right next to each other in our own backyard. But in this case, you know, this is two different, I mean, we feel it's two different markets. and actually 30 can easily take both of them. Now, I wanted to explain one thing, is, as business-minded people, you always think about, not today, you think about 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 100 years from now. If you really think about the car wash industry, is because I used to be in the video industry many years ago. Well, that's a dinosaur right now because times has changed. Now think about the car wash industry. You can never wash your car online. You can never do a detail online. You can never vacuum your car online. Amazon cannot come and eat your lunch. This industry is just going to get bigger and bigger and grow because there's going to be more cars. Population are going to get more and more. So the need for this industry is going to be there for the next 500, well past my time. So, and I'm hoping that, our sons can take it over and they do, as good of a job as we have done. But, so, we're not worried about it. We will not put a $15 million project and buy another project that we just purchased and then spend money on that to, not knowing that, yes, we can do that because we have different markets in Fort Wayne, in actually South Bend area, in Mishawaka. We have stores within actually 1.2 mile of each other, and they're still doing fantastic because, again, that's a big investment. Cars these days are not cheap anymore. You can't go buy a car for $15,000 anymore. People are spending $30,000, $40,000, $100,000 on their vehicles. They want to take care of them. I remember in 2008 when we had that recession, right? So we were kind of worried what's going to happen to us because that was the first time in our lives that we were in this business and we had a recession. Well, we did better. Our volume actually got better. In the Loop Center, we were doing more cars because people were not buying, new vehicles. They were actually maintaining their old vehicles. They were washing them more. So, and of course, that's when we learned that we are actually recession-proof also. It's a good industry, it's a great industry as long as you do it right. If you do it right, these places would be here for the next 100 years and we make them better and bigger. So, I promise you, we're not going to put another one in Maryville, because
You're
in that
locked
area.
into this location then?
I'm sorry?
You're locked into this location?
Yes.
Okay. Happy Day, are they going to maintain that car wash? or-
Well, we're going to actually make it better. So now we have it. We're going to keep it open because of the winter time, because they had some actually unlimited people that we want to make sure that we take care of them, because we don't want to take their money and actually close the doors. We don't operate that way. So we're going to, honor actually out of our pocket. They got the money. We are washing the cars. But that's fine, because we have to honor what these people have paid. So in April, or March, no, I'm sorry, in April or May, that's when we're going to actually close it down. We're going to make sure that everybody knows that. We're going to be telling all the customers that. And then we're going to spend probably about, I would say, $2 to $3 million on that property to make it actually much nicer.
Okay, so it's going to be a car wash also?
Absolutely.
Okay, all right.
Yes. And one more thing, if I may say. So that one is going to be exterior car wash only. This one is going to have the exterior plus the interior. So when you are a VIP, you can go in either one, but this one, you can actually do the inside. So it's a different concept, so it's not exactly the same.
What is the access to the car wash?
I'm sorry?
Is that the access to the car wash is off of Rhode Island Street?
Which one? The one that we're building, that we actually,
Right here.
Greg, can I? Go ahead.
I've got that site plan here. There's basically, the main entrance would be off Rhode Island, which is where the.
Off of Rhode Island? or Rhode
Yeah,
Island?
where the existing Old Chicago driveway is. So that would be an entrance and exit, but there's other exits available, so that would be the main entrance in the.
Or they will exit on Delaware Place, right?
So right now, we actually have 3 potential exits, and obviously, we're here for the special use today. But if there's things that need to be worked through from the site plan perspective, we're happy to work with the town on any
Getting to the
concerns.
Loop Center has to be off of Delaware Place, is that right?
Yeah, the Loop Center is in the rear off Delaware. So right now, there is a drive at the north end of the Loop Center. There is
It
a
will
wait.
exit back there too?
Yes. So basically, the way this is set up is cars would come in off of Rhode Island. They would go up north, circle back around, and either go into the car wash or the indoor vacuum. Basically, you have to go through the payment kiosk, which is that building that's in between the Loop Center. So like, you would see it at any car wash where you would pay. So then if you get your car washed, you can circle back around and then go in the indoor vacuum. But where we're showing the drives are right now, an entrance exit on Rhode Island, and exit only also on Rhode Island, and then 2 drives off of Delaware.
Not that we're gonna have a traffic jam there.
Yeah, is there a specific spot you're concerned about?
Well, just, I know they enter off Rhode Island, where do they exit? When they get done getting their car washed?
Most folks would be exiting out the southeast corner, right only. If they wanted to go, say, east on Rhode Island, they could be coming out the main entrance on the southwest corner. That's probably where most would come. So the 2 south. But again, I think we do have a little flexibility with circulation on this site as far as driveway goes and a little bit of circulation. So this is by all means, not a final site plan, but this is our current preliminary site plan.
How many cars would it take in line to back them up onto Rhode Island?
I would say, I mean, we're probably upwards of 20, and they can pass 1 a minute
No,
in
actually,
the peak hours.
I do apologize. Our system is set up with right training to wash about 180 cars an hour. 180 cars an hour. You'll never get backed up. You'll never, ever get backed up.
The question being is if there's 30 cars waiting in line, are they gonna be out on Rhode Island?
Well, there won't be, because if you're washing 180 cars an hour, or 150 cars an hour, there are never gonna be 30 cars in your line, because you're moving them so fast. That's the philosophy behind it. Because when your tunnel is 150 feet long, and you can do 150 to 180 cars an hour, which we can do that right now all day long with all of our car washes, you will never have 30 cars in your line, because they're just moving them so quickly. Because we have the one in Sherrville, I mean, if you go to Crown Point one right now, you will see it. And at the same time, you have, your kiosk is gonna have 3 lines.
Okay, there are 3 lines.
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
So that way you get all backed up. So, I mean, if you get backed up, I mean, there's no way that you will have 30 cars, but anyway, if you do, but you have 3 of them, so that's 10 each, so you're fine.
I was gonna make that point, to Frank's point, where you see where the kiosk is, you see the 3 red arrows, so once you come in the one drive aisle, it will split into 3 ways to get through and pay, so you can have several cars stacked up, 3 wide at that point.
Make a lot of sense. You got the entrance off of Rhode Island and exit on Delaware Place, back of the car wash. Instead of coming all the way around. Plus you need another cut for the Loop Center.
I would just say that I think that's something we can look at. I mean, there is an existing driveway at Old Chicago right now, but we could certainly provide additional data on that.
I haven't been in this site for some time, but is the other roadways, I don't know who can answer the question, but roadway, the Rhode Island Street going east, and then the, what is that?
80th place.
80th place going east, are those blocked off?
I just drove by it on the way here, and it is barricaded off right now
Okay.
at the intersection of Rhode Island and Delaware. So I'm assuming that's a decision the town made at some point once the former development
So they.
was
they s-
demoed.
They can go north on Delaware and then take a left and go out to Broadway again then,
Yeah,
right?
80th.
Yeah, Delaware is unrestricted, and then Rhode Island up to Delaware is
Yeah.
unrestricted.
Okay. That might relieve some of the traffic.
Best thing I can see here, you got one cutaway on the north side and then one on the other side of the building off of Delaware Place and then one entrance off of Rhode Island. What I see right here.
Yeah, that's correct. We're showing two off of each road right now. Again, the one in the southeast corner would be an exit only, right in, right out. The one also, the one located on, the southern one on Delaware Street, I think we could also make an exit only, if we wanted to. The key is with just the flow of the Lube Center, we need to have cars being able to come in from that far north one on Delaware so they can pull straight in. But if folks do come through the main entrance on Delaware, they can pull through and they don't have to go in the kiosk into the car wash. They can come around the Lube Center and do a U-turn, but at least this way, there's good flow from either road into the Lube Center. And I guess I would just make a point, and I think Frank can speak to this too, as far as where the main entrance is. That is typically off at all their Drive and Shine locations, the front road, and that allows them to basically have all that queuing that we were just talking about on the long stretch parallel to the building. So that's kind of the reason it's oriented that way right now. Like if the main entrance was coming in off of Delaware, there's really not adequate room to queue up cars. I mean, it's something we could look at, but this is kind of the preferred site plan positioning from Drive and Shine right now. And as Jeff alluded to, the car wash is a lot more aesthetically pleasing as far as being in the front with all that glass. We might get in a situation where we'd have to flip-flop that, and I think from a, marketability standpoint and just being attractive, for whether you're using the car wash or not, you're gonna have a better looking product with the car wash up front.
Are there any other questions?
When do you plan on opening, in May, or how soon would it be open, the car wash?
Are you speaking of the Happy Car Wash or this location?
No, this location here in Maryville.
This would be probably 2026,
Okay.
right?
Yeah, I mean, we still would need to, we haven't gone into detailed engineering yet, so we would need to do that if we get the necessary BZA and council approvals. So, yeah. And Drive and Shine definitely holds the cards as far as what projects they're building at one time, so
Yeah.
2026 is what Frank is thinking.
Yeah, we're gonna be building, we're gonna be building probably this one and the one in Winfield. We have a site on Winfield on Randolph, right next to Walgreen. And that's gonna be exterior car wash only, with a vacuum, so we're gonna be probably building those two, at the same time. Not at the same time, probably one and then the other one.
I just have a general question. The gentleman in the back mentioned facilities in other locations, other municipalities. And I'm familiar with the one in Valparaiso and Calumet. You mentioned Myers. Is there one just east also of that one in Valparaiso?
Yes, there's one east of 49 on Route 2. It's in front of Meyer. I think it's next door to the Meyer gas station. And
And
it
the
is,
Bell Tire,
what's that?
and the Bell Tire.
Yes.
Bell Tires.
Bell Tire,
Yeah, Bell Tire's
Bell
right
Tire,
there.
excuse me. And It is a car wash only, just similar to what Happy Car Wash is going to be
Ah.
converted into.
Okay. So it's not with the facade that we're
No,
looking at?
no, that's right. The facade like this is on Vale Park, as you indicated, and this will be similar to Crown Point, which just opened within the last year off of 109th Avenue.
I see.
You had mentioned Mishawaka, which I was there last week, and first time I've noticed how the buildings are nice. And they were so close together, like you mentioned, I figured they were within a mile of each other.
Yes.
Unfortunately, it was snowing out, so there wasn't a lot of business going through there. But I found it interesting that they have a lube service also. So they were offering free car washes when you get your oil changed, I guess is what you
Ab-
consider a lube?
Yes, absolutely. That's what we're going to do.
Okay.
That's our practice. And then, so in our business, it's amazing because it goes from 0 to 100 miles an hour, just like that. Because it snows, the cars get white.
Right.
And the time is snowing and the roads are wet, of course, you're not doing anything, but you're waiting for that hurricane to hit you, and you get ready for that. And then you go from, let's say, washing maybe 10 cars an hour to 150, 180 cars an hour.
And Jeff, you had pointed out the speculation to the adjacent property, which is owned by someone completely different, as you mentioned. And we've been speculating on that property for how many, almost a decade now?
You're talking about the,
Radisson,
yes,
I mean, this doesn't interfere with that project at all. It's a different piece of property.
it is.
We offered Take 5, the Clark Station as a possible site, and they rejected that site. So it's not like we're opposed to oil change businesses and car washes in the area.
Certainly not.
So I think we need to look at it from that aspect, guys, that we can't really look at what could happen with the property to the east. We need to look at what should happen to the property that's here now. And right now, it's a bunch of broken down buildings, chain link fences, and gravel parking lots. So if we can get a $15 million business in there, don't see why we shouldn't try for it.
We got one more question.
And to that point, when Drive and Shine goes into some locations that are redevelopment sites, because they generate traffic, it attracts other businesses that would be more apt to get into the old Dairy Queen site and the old Denny site that might not have otherwise happened if it wasn't for Drive and Shine.
I have one more question. Currently, the Old Chicago has a sign. Would you utilize that sign there and probably be an electronic sign, or would it be a message sign, or what would it be?
We would take that down, and Drive and Shine would do their own sign. I'm assuming we would actually probably come for if this goes forward favorably with you guys and the council, I'm assuming we'd probably be back to you guys for I believe it's variance of use for having the LED message board, just like the Happy Car Wash.
Yeah.
But they would want to do their own new sign.
Okay, thanks.
Are there any other questions? Seeing none, I'll open it to the audience. Would anyone like to speak for or against this petitioner? Please come up and state your name.
Good evening. My name is Jeff Brandt. My address is 9247 Broadway. I've been a resident and developer in Maryville for probably 40 years. I find that this board should approve this variance for a few reasons. One, it's consistent with other uses in the area. The second main reason is that it won't be causing a nuisance to the adjacent property owners as in residential, because there are no residential property owners that this would cause noise pollution to. So I'm in favor of this project, and I hope this board will consider this variance and approve it. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else in the audience that would like to speak for or against this petitioner? Anyone like to speak for or against this petitioner? Seeing none, I'll bring it back to the board for motion.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to approve the special exception Z2E20225 with the conditions for this petition only, at this location only, and for this use only, and also to review the traffic flow. That has to be addressed.
Okay.
I'll second.
We have a first and a second. Can we get a vote, please?
Jeff Zweig,
Aye.
Mr. Melnick, Pete Gibb, aye. William Byers,
Aye.
Tim Fortier,
Yes.
4-0, Mr. Chairman. Approved.
Thank you, everyone.
Yep. Thank you very much, Board.
I appreciate it, thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, our next case is Z3E3-0225, Three Brothers Investment LLC, petitioner and owner located at 10099 Broadway. Special exemption approval from section 21-136 in a C2 community commercial zoning district on 2.61 acres to allow, imagine that, a car wash addition to existing convenience store and fueling station. Do we need another car wash? You better believe it.
What did I tell you?
Good evening. I'm Paul Steininger. I'm representing Three Brothers, and we have the Family Express convenience stores. And what we're looking at is adding a single bay car wash on our existing site that we have on the corner of Broadway and 101st Avenue. It's at the southern end of Maryville as it butts up to Crown Point. I'm from the area as well. We live on the north side of Crown Point through the Maryville school systems. And like I say, I'm quite familiar with the area. One of the things that we have on this site, we provide, with our convenience stores, we also sell the fuel, and many of our facilities, we do have the car washes. We have 37 car washes currently spread at various, convenience stores that we have. And then we have quite a few stores planned. We have an aggressive schedule as far as adding more stores and such. This site, what we're looking at is a large site. Again, it's 2.6 acres, and we're looking at locating the car wash on the north end of the property. As far as other, areas, obviously Broadway is growing as far as businesses go, but in this area, currently there is a gas station that is catty corner from us. On the southwest corner, we have Barnes Funeral Home. To the south, we have a large retention pond to the north of us that's shared by the school to the north, further north. And if you go due west, it's currently farmland, and same thing goes with going east along 101st Avenue there. One of the things that we would that we want to do is to provide a popular and convenient services to the community in which we serve. The new car wash will meet all applicable codes and uses environmentally safe detergents. Again, the system that we use is the Mark 7 equipment and the supplies. They use Simonized products. They meet federal and state regulations, and they're biodegradable products and safe for the environment. The car wash itself will benefit the community and meet, again, the applicable codes. The car wash will be similar to other car washes that we have at our other stores, convenience stores that we have. The car wash itself, like I say, is on the northern end of our property. As far as the car wash, it'll utilize existing utilities on the site. The drainage will go into existing storm structures on the property, and a grease interceptor will be used in the car wash itself. An adequate queue line will be on the east side of the car wash itself. And as you go along the east side of the property and go to the north, and you'll be able to access the car wash. There will also be an escape lane provided as well for those that might change their mind and leave the queue line. The vehicles will exit the car wash into the existing parking lot that we have there on site, and ingress and egress onto adjacent public streets are existing and will remain. The project has been designed, again, like I say, to meet the codes and quality design. The Mark 7 system that we utilize is the latest in technology for that, the single bay type system. It's an automated system. It also provides a touchless option for you to be able to wash your car. It was funny you mentioned about another car wash, and as the previous group here presented there, it's a tunnel system where ours is a single bay automatic, and there's need for both. This is a nice convenient way that when you come to our stores, you can grocery shop, you can purchase things that you may need, you can fuel, and you'll be able to wash your car. It will provide additional convenience of those services to the community and help with the care and maintenance of people's vehicles. And like I say, the Simonized products, they're safe for the environment that, which we use. And there are some things that are APEs and NPEs. They have been removed from the Mark 7 products. Their use is beginning to be restricted in many parts of the country due to their risk to aquatic life. So like I say, Simonized is looking ahead and trying to make sure that all their products are safe. And like I say, I hope you consider us being able to add a car wash to this facility that we have. And like I say, I think it'll serve the community well.
Thank you. Can we get a staff report, please?
Petitioner is seeking special exception approval from section 21-136 on 2.61 acres in an existing C2 community commercial zoning district to open a new car wash for an existing convenience store and fueling station. The established maintenance or operation of the proposed car wash addition will not be detrimental or endanger the public health and safety and general welfare in accordance with the comprehensive plan because the new facility offers convenience services to the community. The new car wash will satisfy applicable codes while using environmentally safe detergents. The proposed special exception will not be injurious to the establishment of the proposed special exception will not impede the normal or orderly development or improvement of surrounding properties for the uses permitted in the district. The car wash will be on the existing property and meet setbacks requirements. The car wash will utilize existing utilities on site. An adequate queue line will serve the car wash as an escape lane, and an escape lane will be provided. There is a public necessity for this special exception approval in that this improvement addition cannot take place without granting special exception approval. The hours of operation of the car wash will be from 5 a.m. to 10 p.m. The car wash will be a self-service system and will not add any employees. There is one employee per shift, and when the store manager is working, there can be 2 employees. And that's for this petitioner only, at this location only, and for this use only.
Thank you. Can I ask our attorney, please, the clause of this petitioner only at this location only for this use only, would that apply to if it were sold to another gas station, they would have to petition to get it moved through? No, if it were to be sold in 5 years to Speedway.
No,
Speedway,
no, because they won't be able to take the car wash down
Right,
when
that's-
it gets finished. He's getting special exception approval because it's a requirement to have a car wash in the town of Maryville.
correct.
But this is for him. In other words, he can't take it someplace to another, Family Express and say, well, I got approval for this one. I can't, I should be able to put another one up someplace else.
Okay, okay. Just want to make sure it wasn't locking the property up from selling down the
No,
road somewhere.
no.
Okay. So I'll bring it to the board for questions other than that one. Your packet was extremely informative, very well done. I think you guys should have had a car wash there when you built the place, and I will give you approval if you bring the McDonald's back, because I drive past that place 4 times a day, and I missed the McDonald's not being there.
Well, have you tried our Cravens to Go
No.
at our stores? We've been adding a lot of those to many of our stores as well. And actually, the food is quite good. In fact, it's funny because I was just in Portage, we have one under construction, an interior project. And it's funny because we have the message boards up above that show our sandwiches. And one of the things that some of the restaurants, the fast food industry, you always see those advertisements where you have like a submarine sandwich and it looks so huge, or those hamburgers.
Yeah.
And one of the things that people were always shocked about with our Cravens to Order is when they showed the pulled pork sandwich, it's actually huge.
Wow.
And so if you haven't tried any of our products,
I drove
definitely
past
give it a try. But one thing that we do within our company is we try to build relationships within the communities that we're in. And we also work with local businesses as well. So, for example, with a lot of our candies, we work with Albanese. all of our pork products are from Indiana farmers. So, like I say, we try to help grow things within the communities that we serve.
Okay, thank you. Just had to throw that in there. So I'll try your food. Any other questions to the board?
Well, it's probably just me because you didn't ask the question. I'm looking at the survey and I'm trying to figure out where this building is on the survey. It's not shown on the survey?
One of them.
May I approach?
Sure, come on over. I'm looking at this here, so that's a different one than I got. I didn't see that one. Where's that one?
It's
That
on the next
was
page.
here, but there was some information missing, but this is the site.
Oh, so I
For
didn't,
some reason.
Sheila didn't give me that because she didn't want me to look at that part. So that's where, okay, now I
So I
understand.
gave you what
So
they
we
gave
have,
me.
again, this is coming off of 101st, you have the entry here, and then you have an entry going on to Broadway. And here's the
Okay.
queue line that runs on up,
Yeah,
the escape route going out, and then, being able to go
well,
out.
that makes perfect sense now, but
It's-
I was looking at
It's
this.
my-
and it's-
It's meant for that. The lot, the parcel is meant for that to be there. I mean, they've got the roadway access next to NIPSCO, little access there. It's,
Yeah, no, that'd be a great addition. So thanks for explaining it to me. Thank you.
Does anybody else want to?
Yeah, Sheila, it was just.
Is
this
that the
page.
page that you said you didn't include?
Yes.
Okay, so he called me, just to let everyone know, he called me after the packets went out and said that there was an additional page that he didn't include. But you have to get everything in on the 15th to go out in the packets. But did you get your questions answered?
Yeah, I thought it was just me. I thought I was missing something.
No.
here. I guess I was, but.
He said, he
everybody
did call me and said that there was a page that he didn't include.
else-
are there any other questions from the board?
So the hours of operation is the same for the convenience store as it is for the car wash?
Yes,
Okay. And it's like 5 to
5 to 10.
10, but that's early hours. I can never make those.
A lot of people go to work early.
That's true.
I'm on the road by 4.
Oh, man. Not me, not anymore.
Is it going to be a token thing that you have to go in and pay for, or is there going to be a kiosk out front?
There is a kiosk out front, and then we also have programs established that you can also have a monthly membership for discounted rates.
So when you buy gas, it'll give you the option of a car wash also?
Yes.
Okay.
Do you have one of these close to any other car washes like this gentleman proposed?
No, where we're at, there aren't
Because I was
any
just
other.
wondering, I mean, the draw between Drive and Shine,
So he's,
Crew, and
he
that.
actually has a Crown Point address.
Okay.
He's located in the town of Maryville, but that's actually down closer to Crown Point where he is,
Yeah.
across the street from Burns Funeral Home.
My question was the draw of these other car washes, will you get enough business to sustain it?
Oh, there'll be plenty by us because we're way at the southern end of
Then-
Maryville there.
Casey's is right across the street from him on Broadway, but on the Crown Point side, and they do not have a car wash either.
No.
Okay, all right.
Any other questions? Seeing none, I'll open it to the audience. Would anyone like to speak for or against this petitioner? Would anyone like to speak for or against this petitioner? And one last time, anyone like to speak for or against this petitioner? Seeing none, I'll bring it back to the board for a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve case number Z3E3-0225 for this location, for this use only.
I second the motion.
We have a first and a second. Can we get a vote, please?
Jeff Swike,
Yes.
Christopher Mellon, absent. Pete Gibb, yes. William Byers?
Yes.
Yes. Tim Fortier?
Is there going to be a McDonald's in there? Yes.
Question mark.
Bribery.
Question mark.
I think he said,
4-0, Chairman.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
thanks. We'll try the sandwich.
I drove past at 3 this afternoon, and I didn't have lunch, and I was like, I wish they had their McDonald's, but I'll have to try the sandwiches. I'll have to go in there and try them.
So
they-
Paul, I will,
They have they'll have pizza, and, I mean, they have a lot of different foods. And what's nice about it is that they have a warming station, so they'll be able to prepare all the food, and it's nice and hot.
It's
Great.
not the typical hot dogs that's been spinning
No,
for a week.
no,
Okay.
what is those, rollers?
Right, yeah, the rollers.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to make a motion to adjourn.
We have a motion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Approved.